Haroun and the Sea of Stories, Chapter 1, by Heather Retch, Caitlyn Waller, and Marquise Grizzle. Introducing the characters. There is Rushdie and Miss Soroya, who have a son named Haroun. Haroun and Rushdie are the main two characters. That's family one. Then they have neighbors, Mr. Sengupta and Miss Juanita. Miss Juanita is known as the obese neighbor. Scene 2. In the country of Aleph Bay, there is a city so sad that it forgot its name. It's next to the Sea of Gutfish. The book says, black smoke poured out of the chimneys of the sadness factories and hung over the city like bad news. Scene 2. Rushdie tells stories, and everybody loves them. He's even paid to tell them. That's what he does for a living. But Soroya does not like the stories. His son Haroun always asks him, where do the stories come from? But whenever he asks his father this most important of questions, the Shah of Blah, Rushdie, would narrow his slightly bulging eyes and pat his wobbly stomach and stick his thumb between his lips while he made ridiculous drinking noises. Haroun hated it when his father acted this way. He just wanted to know where the stories came from. In the apartment, Mr. Juanita and Sengupta live together, and then Haroun, Rushdie, and Soroya live together. Then Miss Juanita was always very sweet to Haroun because her husband was always gone. When Rushdie was gone, Mr. Sengupta would always talk to Soroya about her husband behind his back, and he would always talk bad because he hated his stories, and I think it began to seep into her life, and she hated the stories too. And then Haroun noticed that he was very sweet on her, and he did not like that. So one day, Haroun was in his room, and Juanita was downstairs crying as Soroya and Mr. Sengupta ran off together at precisely 11 o'clock. She left a letter for Mr. Rushdie when he got home. Here they are running off, and Rushdie comes home. It was a day when it was raining, and Rushdie was very sad to find a note that his wife left. And he began to question, what's the point of stories? My life was my life, and it became in the way of us. And his son begins to question that too. What is the point of stories? But he can't remember or focus on anything for longer than 11 minutes since she left at precisely 11 o'clock. So one day, people ask Rushdie to talk in front of a crowd and tell his stories. Here's the crowd and the podium. But as he gets up there, he tries to tell a story, and he can't. He draws a blank, and he feels that he is done with stories forever. The end.